No, thanks for coming out. Appreciate everybody being here. Looking forward to getting back in front of our home crowd on a good day. Got a tough team coming in here in Rice. We played them last year down there. They beat us pretty good down there in the end. Coach Bailiff's done a really nice job with that program. Won the Conference USA Championship, I think, in 2013. And they're not as bad a team as their record indicates. They're a couple plays away from having a pretty good record. So by the nature of where they're located, they're going to have good players on their football team being in the state of Texas. We tell our guys all the time, everybody has good players, and this team is no exception. So our preparation today, tomorrow, and Thursday is going to be critical in giving us an opportunity to be successful on Saturday. So with that said, we'll open up for questions. Well, it's really exciting. We got to go over and watch the women's soccer team play and win the Conference USA Championship, and what a great environment. They played extremely hard and played well, and it was a lot of fun. I saw a lot of the guys out there, a lot of other athletes supporting each other, and just really good for our campus right now. And, winning is always a positive thing, so we're trying to keep that going.
So, we all show up for 3 years at a time. So when I showed up, probably on the very front end of us becoming a D1 team, we didn't really do much for Military Appreciation Day other than just say it was and do some things here and there. So I figured this would be a great time to balloon this thing, make it big for especially veterans, but even just active duty folks. And there's a lot of folks on campus that are filling that role as veterans. So we just want to make it big. So we figured we start out with a massive march. So we're going to follow these guys from when they leave the student union. We'll be shortly there behind them. At about 1 o'clock, we'll start marching with about a 400-strong formation. Come down. Hopefully, that's a pretty big spectacle. Gets people pumped up. Get the cadets in the seats. Support the football teams. We're gonna have a massive section like you'd see on TV with any other university, and hopefully some other cool things will happen in between. I'll do a little memorial ceremony at halftime to commemorate POW, MIA, prisoners of war, missing in action, people who have fallen before us, fallen comrades, and do some things beforehand as well. I think our cadets are going to run about 26.2 miles, I guess, a full marathon from Cornelius Town Hall all the way down through the top part of the county and bring the game ball in. So that'll happen Saturday morning. And we'll also do a tribute to 2 World War II veterans that'll be there with us in attendance at some point during the game. Yeah, I think in today's age, we're kind of changing the way we think, right? We see a lot of football games. People think different things, and we allow that to happen. But the people that get left behind are the veterans, right? We're kind of just leaving that generation in the shadows at this point. So it's a big moment to bring those people out, remind everybody that they do exist, and regardless of whether or not we have these thoughts that we have these days about whatever's going on, those people did what they did in whatever time that they did it in. So mostly for them, but also for the people that are over there right now in the sandbox, doing some really tough work, right? They're not having a great time over there. So paying tribute to those guys as well.
Well, for me personally, I feel like that's an amazing accomplishment, and I mean, it just basically makes you look at life in a different way. You see that we go out every day and do football, but they out there fighting for their lives, and fighting for ours, and I just think that it's amazing, and it just makes you want to do something better other than football in life, like be a more inspiration to somebody else in life.
Like Hasaan said, being able to live in this country and be free, not worrying about things is a beautiful thing. So I feel like sometimes we put people in the Army on the back burner. So I'm just really blessed and anxious to see Saturday and show the Army appreciation. It felt really good. Practicing this week, I was really tired. I seen the ball in the air. Coach Lambert always tells us to go get it. When he's our position coach, he throws the ball so far. So I got some good practice in. He just says everything we practice just roll over into the game, and that's what happened. Like Coach Lambert was saying, we don't let their record fool us. Like every team has good players. So Saturday we just trying to go out there and play. Last year we played them. That was our last game. and left a bad taste in our mouth. So we just want to go out there and play the best we can.
Well, Rice defense, they're a really good defense. I know that we're playing a really good football team again this weekend. Just like Coach Lambert stresses to us, they give scholarships too over there at Rice. So, they're a really good defense, and we just got to be ready to play. I would like to sit in the pocket and pass the ball, but but
Sometimes it breaks down.
yeah, sometimes it breaks down. But I just think that, I mean, it's a great tool to have, and just having a great running backs like Khalif and Benny and Robert back there. It just opens up the offense for them, and I just think that it's just a great tool to have.
Yeah, well, I told the guys before the game last week, for 10 months, back in January, we set these goals, and here we are in November, and we have a chance to play for something that really means a lot. And so this week is another week to move toward those goals and see if we can attain them. So this is a critical week, and those goals our players came up with, and they want to have an opportunity to be successful and attain those goals. They realize what's at stake, and so that's our job is, the process of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to put them in a position to be successful and make sure that we're on point in what we do. But it's a lot. There's a lot of motivation this weekend based on the goals that we have set for ourselves.
Back in August, Coach Lambert was telling us November is going to be the most important month of the year in football. It's kind of like March Madness in basketball. So everything you set yourself up for in November is to look really well. We're trying to get this bowl game, and we're trying to put ourselves in the best situation to be successful.
And just like Coach Lambert expressed to us, that T-Dub mentioned that November is the biggest month of the year, and basically we just got to keep balling. I mean, we have it in the back of our heads about bowl game and whatnot, but we just got to take one game at a time, and if we do that, then I believe that we can accomplish what our goals were to do.
Well, it's good. We want to progress and get better each and every year. I think our age has helped us. We've got a good senior class. They put in a lot of work, both sides of the ball, and so they've already accomplished, surpassed what we did last year from a win total, from an offensive total, things like that. But ultimately, we just want to win this next game and put ourselves in a position to, play for something each and every week. And our guys have done a good job, but I think primarily our age has really helped us, and the work that we put in. We talked last week about 2012. Terrance was here in 12, and we just out there practicing and running and grinding, and we didn't have any games, and the guys didn't like me, and so it's they've put in a lot of work, and I think that's probably the thing that's you want something great to happen for this class, and so I think that's probably a tribute to where we are now, is just that group and all the work they've put in. Yeah, I think we've always wanted to be able to run the ball, and I've always said you want to have balance. Doesn't matter if you're offense, defense, your diet, whatever it is, you got to have balance. And so we want to be able to run the ball first and foremost, and we've done a good job of that. And Hasaan gives us an added dimension to that running game because he's always a threat to run the ball. So you have to account for him defensively, and having Khalif and Robert and Ben, that's really helped us. I think our offensive line is playing as good as they've ever played. I wasn't sure we could run the ball last week on Southern Mississippi, so that was a huge surprise. And I just was really proud of our team coming out of that game to be able to run the ball like we did, and that bodes well for our quarterback and our throwing game. So we got to continue on that track. That's who we want to be, and we got to try to continue in that mode. Well, yeah, I mean, you just got to grind every day, and your work ethic will take you a long way. And the way our guys have prepared from day one, whether you're winning or losing, they've really just kept their nose to the grindstone and worked and done everything we've asked. So hopefully our age and our experience are paying off for us some here down the stretch. But it's all about how do you work today. Yesterday's gone and tomorrow's not promised. So, how do I work today to give myself an opportunity to be successful on Saturday? And they've really done a good job of staying in the moment, and we need to continue that track. Yeah, I think the play of Larry and Brandon up front, Nick Cook's playing at a high level, Carrington's playing better. those two inside backers. But I think everything for us starts with Larry and Brandon up front. Nick Carroll came on. I thought he played his best game against Southern Mississippi since he's been here. Tyreek Harris keeps progressing. We've got some depth that we're developing up there with a guy like Randy Sudam, who's a redshirt freshman, and he can come in the game. But it all starts up front defensively to stop the run, and those guys are playing at a high level up front and stopping the run, then getting pressure on the quarterback. Your best pass defense has always been a pass rush, and so we got to continue to play at a high level up there. But the way those guys are practicing and leading our football team right now is really critical for us.